and my subscribers. Very welcome to the TutorASRumale, the channel dedicated to the tutorials on computer science and engineering, artificial intelligence, software design, advanced technologies, and emerging trends. Here I am going to share only the knowledge regarding this and nothing else. I request you all to subscribe my channel, share it with your friends, relatives, and contacts which are interested in learning the technologies. Also, I request you to comment and like and suggest me the new topics to cover under this channel. Thank you very much, and welcome you all once again to my channel TutorASRumale. Let's see the today's topic. Thank you. So, very welcome, guys, to today's session. I hope you have enjoyed the yesterday's session and about the digital forensics and cyber crime and criminal. Today we are going to see what is cyber or digital forensics, also called as computer forensics. In old days, it used to be called as a computer forensics. So we are going to see that. So here today we are going to discuss first what is the digital forensic science, need of the digital forensics, type of digital forensics, cyber forensics and digital evidence, digital forensic life cycle, then the steganography, and we are also going to discuss some examples on that, then forensics and social network on social networking sites, and then we are going to see what are the different computer forensics challenges in this first session of today. So let's begin with the forensic. Now, first, so before going to the next slide, I would like to say what is this forensic or what exactly the forensic stands for. Okay, forensics is the science and art, okay, of investigation, or you can say of seizing, or what you can say preserving, analyzing, analyzing, and reporting the evidence before law for deciding the what you can say for justice, instead of going with the thing for justice. That will be the precise definition for the forensics. So forensic is the science and art of seizing, preserving, analyzing, and reporting excuse me and reporting the evidence before law for justice. Now again, when it okay, forensics forensics need to carry out its business, or what you can say its complete procedure. I'm saying business. It's business by some legal procedure codes or legal procedures codes from the government or from law or of law. So you can't simply go and seize the evidence, uh, just say because you know that there is a crime. There is a certain procedure and everything is there for this forensics to do. So what forensic involves? Okay? Forensics involves every branch of science and art I'm saying this every branch of science and art. Let's say suppose you want to find some criminal, then you may describe the criminal. Someone create the picture or poster of that criminal. That is an art. Okay. Now you want to know whether the criminal is the criminal or not, and is the criminal or not. The suspect is a criminal or not. You go on doing the DNA analysis or something. That is a science, and it will have the biology, physics, many things. Say someone shoots someone by the pistols, like gun or something. Then the projectile study of that particular what you can say bullet, and even the marks on the bullets and everything, that is in a science. So it gives you so much. It's a very vast field, so it is an applied field. The most often the forensic works on the dead. I'm saying when I'm seeing the dead, that means after the happening forensics come in a picture. So basically forensic is what? Forensic is forensics is investigative science. Forensics is investigative science. So if you are doing some psychoanalysis of someone to find out why that person is behaving like the way he or she is behaving, you must have to consider that as an investigative science. So that is a forensic. So psychoanalysis is forensic. If you go with to the doctor and show that doctor that you are having this problem, what doctor actually try to find out something, and that is again forensic. It's not always, but when we some that is a science. So all these methods gathered together to make the forensics. So what happens in 1950 60, computers started to dominate the business and the world, and then by 70s in western world they become quite popular. By 90s the computers started to spread over the eastern world, and by 1999 all the computers they occupied almost the entire earth, and today we are living in a digital age. So the years before 1950 there was no such thing as a digital forensic or digital forensics. Okay, because there was no data or there was nothing to what you can say investigate on the digital uh, platform or anything. So it's become something. So when you do some you can say investigate the evidence or seize the evidence and investigate that evidence, preserve that evidence, analyze that evidence, and report that evidence before law, we can call this as a digital forensic science. Okay. So digital forensic science is the forensics is a science and art of seizing, preserving, analyzing, and reporting the digital evidence. Okay, you simply have to make it as a digital evidence before law for the justice. And then you know that there are weight evidence where chemistry, physics, biology is like sciences are involved, and there are circumstantial evidence where your analytic skill, what we call as data analytics and other things are involved. So this is what the forensics actually mean, or forensic actually stand for. So if you go with these explanations of the forensic, okay, then we can explain the forensic or digital forensic science in a very easy manner. So digital forensic is basically what? The branch of forensic science or forensic knowledge for collecting, analyzing, documenting, and presenting the digital evidence related to crime or cybercrime for using it in a court of law. This is a simple thing. Actually, adapted this image from the book of Egon Casey, written by him in 2011 and published by Elsevier Inc. on the cyber forensic and computer applications. So there he give these all things. We are going to see this in detail. But what is this evidence collection and investigation needs to use? As we see, that is, they forensics need to follow certain procedures. So it's need to follow the first procedure, and that is what we call as a CRPC. Actually, CRPC was given by the British government in India in around 1862 something. But it was amended by in a various way and was finally accepted in India by in 1973, and it is still known by the that title, that CRPC, or Criminal Procedure Code 1973. This code actually is very vast and explains many things, like how to collect evidence, how to preserve them, how to means that how to seize the this evidence, how to preserve them, how to examine them, and how to write the reports. There are standard formats for writing the reports. They call it a chain of custody. Means say one person is writing the report on it, and say suppose he get some other work assigned by the government, and the work then transferred to someone, then you have that transaction in things. So CRPC is a very vast and legal document for analyzing, so which is actually giving you the all details about how to practice the law, the criminal law. That is a CRPC, which was given in 1973. Now, when British actually ruled the India, started ruling India in 1860, they come up with the first Indian penal code. Okay, at that time the code wasn't called as an Indian penal code, but it's called as a British Indian colony penal code, because it was an East India Company who is having the penal code. And then when the kingdom or the control goes from East India Company to Queen Victoria, uh, it become what say Commonwealth penal code. And when we become free, or when we got the freedom, we made it as an Indian penal code. So 90% part of the Indian penal code, even today, is the direct adaptation or some amendment or modification of the Indian Penal Code, which was set in 1860 and amended time to time after that. But I am just giving you this as an 1860. So if you see this scenario here for the digital forensic science, you'll find that evidence collection and investigation needs to use this CRPC. Otherwise, it is not easy to go through the this collection and other thing. So what we mean by this collection of the data, or the say suppose a crime, that is a violation of law, what we say, a crime is there, and you want to collect so report the crime, you want to report the crime, you need to report this to nearest police station, because every police station is given with what you can say boundary for the investigation. Every police station is given with a boundary for investigation particular crime. So these boundaries are just like our cellular network. Means you are having so one police station here and the another here. Okay, so this seems to be like a, honeybee's nest. So this police station is having, or your mobile towers, what you can see, you can resemble it. It is having this coverage area. Okay, it can these police stations having this coverage area. Now, whenever something happens, these police stations need to abide by this boundary structure, and they have to go to this crime. Even the when you give a first information report, or what we call as an FIR, to the police for the crime, whether it is a cyber crime or a simple crime, okay, non-cyber crime, instead of saying simple. Okay. Then in that case, police generally ask who is the complainant, what is the address of complainant, what is the state of mind of that complainant. Everything is recorded, and then you get that FIR. Okay, so that is go with the CRPC 1973. And Indian Penal Code is actually the penal code which was designed by the rulers, so British government, to rule the India. So if you go with the first draft of Indian Penal Code, which was amended a lot, okay, so it is not adopted as it is, but still Indian Penal Code is how this suffix 1860, that is Indian Penal Code was first drafted in 1860. So this Indian Penal Code actually categorize the crimes into different parts. So fraud is there, then murdering, or what we call as a homicide is there, and then there is a genocide. The difference between homicide and genocide is that homicide means you kill single person. Genocide means you kill the group of the people from a particular clan. That is called as a genocide. Okay, so they are having different clauses, different what you can say uh, penalties, different punishment status, and everything in Indian Penal Code. And as time, what can say, goes by, the many other sections and things got added into it. Just a minute. Evidence collection, investigation is needed very things. So when any crime happens, in yester years what used to be, there was no computer, so the when crime used to be happen, generally police used to go and question them. Police used to go and question them, and they were not having a proper way to get this crime. So they created a proper what you can say system of policing, and so this policing system actually follow the CRPC rule to collect this evidence from the crime scene, to collect this evidence which those data which may be useful in proving or refuting the things from this CR, what you can say, before the crimes happening and likewise. So for that purpose, you require to follow the criminal procedure code. So what this criminal procedure code actually helps you. For example, let's say suppose some police or inspector, police station want actually to come into your house. Okay, as per the CRPC, he must have to go to the district magistrate or the magistrate, executive magistrate, and have to take the summons, or what's a warrant, for search warrant, arrest warrant, all whatever the warrant they want. And once they get that warrant, then only they can enter into our house or search your house and likewise. And again, they can't search it. Means if the lady is there, some ladies should have to be there to search that. Okay, only gents not allowed. Any crime happen, and if they are collecting some evidence, there should have to be some eminent personalities or some persons from the local who can be act as a punch, must have to be there. So many times of what happen, in absence of such type of punch or eminent personalities, in yesteryears they used to lose the validity or authenticity of the particularly collected evidence. So the British government around in 1870 something added one. Hello, madam. When we go with the evidence collection and investigation, we need in the digital forensic also the same procedure to be followed. The procedures which are generally used in a simple or what you can say traditional crimes. Means say suppose something happens, someone complained against somebody, and in that case if the police want to investigate the computer, or they want to seize your computer for the proofs or evidence, they also have to have the seizures warrant. Okay, मतलब ऐसे नहीं होता है कि पुलिस ये someone have given the FIR for something and police came and they can seize the computer involuntarily. Okay, they have to get the proper legal what you can say order from the magistrate, and then only they can see. So that is what we call as CRPC. मतलब आपका डाटा एनालाइज करने के लिए भी उनको some rules follow करने पड़ते हैं. That is the one thing, that is what we call as CRPC. Now what is Indian Penal Code? Digital forensic science, they need to abide by the law. That's why we are discussing this law in a very brief. We are going to see this in a detail after this. So what is this Indian Penal Code? Indian Penal Code is having a particular type of crime. For that particular type of crime, it is having some penalties assigned, and for that say in addition to those penalties, it can give you the certain type of sentences. Okay, and these sentences are like you have to spend 2 3 years in a jail, 7 year jail, 10 years in a jail. You may be hanged till death, and likewise. So these are what we can call as the sentences, and penalties are in terms of fine. So you may have to pay 2 lakh rupee, 1 lakh rupee, 5 lakh rupee, 1,000 rupee, and something, and those are what can say penalty. And it also gives some room, Indian penal code, to apply for प्री अरेस्ट बेल। मीन्स आपने कुछ क्राइम किया है या आपको ऐसे लग रहा है कि कोई जो क्राइम हुआ है उसमें से there are certain crime where you can't get the bail and likewise. So if you go with all these things, bail and everything, what we say that we are actually talking about the things which are not in our control, basically not in our control. And so to check this, now what happens in these codes are there. Now say suppose in a traditional crime, the criminal is from say Rajasthan, or say criminal is from Tamil Nadu, or say criminal is from the nearby city, from your city. You see, you are living in Pune and the criminal is from Nagar. Okay, the police also need to take the permission of the Nagar police or the magistrate or something in some cases where the person is, if the person is an eminent and likewise. So that CRPC rules and regulations are there. But Indian Penal Code also mention some what you can say penalties for not assisting the or not helping the law. Okay, so these are the things, and this goes in India almost these two laws. Okay, ये जो है ना CRPC and Indian Penal Code, they goes hand in hand in India till around 1999. तब तक क्या हुआ था कि इंडिया में कंप्यूटर उतने इंट्रोड्यूस ही नहीं हुए थे. So what happen exactly, must have to mention this, whether you like it or not. Some things you cannot deny. So the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, he actually brought the computer technology and ICT in India, using his political, what you can say, charisma, or what you can say, his political hold. And around 98 99, when India started converting or started the digitization moment, what they found that there is a need for what you can say safeguard of the data on the computer. So at that time, they different people from different field of the law and legislature and say our government, they analyze the acts in America and Britain, and then they actually use those acts in a Indian terminology, and they come up with the first draft of Information Technology Act in year 2000. Actually, it was in year 99, but it was raised and passed in year 2000 in the Parliament, and so it's called as an Information Technology Act 2000, which actually combine some crimes which can be happen on the internet, and it's only held the cyber crimes. Okay, pure cyber crimes means the crime which happen in the cyberspace, and for that crime it mentions certain type of penalties and certain type of what you can say the sentences. Now when they mention the sentences, they have referred that sentences as the Indian Penal Code sentence. So this says that a cyber crime can be considered as equivalent to the real crime, and the sentence can be given as per the Indian Penal Code for committing that particular crime. and that was given in IT Act. IT Act is also talking about intellectual property rights and other things, and so many things are there. It is just not the thing, but you can say IT Act is just an extension to the CRPC and IPC, so that and the law can act very strongly, and it also have given meaning to the digital evidence. Uh, Many years after 99, even 2000 or something, the email and other things are not used as a, are not accepted by the court as the what you can say, the evidence. But this IT Act actually changed that scenario. Then any message that you sent on an email and everything, you become the admissible in a court as an evidence, and from there comes the digital forensic in force in India. So digital forensic for India is not a very old thing; is a very new. Almost what you can say, in its till in its baby phase or child phase, because we are 140 crore people. Not all are aware of the what you can say. Uh, uh, what see this is a scope, or what you can see the entire coverage of this digital forensics and the importance of digital forensic. Take an example: you are having a simple mobile phone with you, and you want to create the what you can say mashup of some images. So you go to the Play Store and you download one app. Now what this app says, when you install, give rights to access to your phone calls. You are giving yes. Give rights to camera. You are saying yes. Give rights to this. You are saying yes. And you are giving too many rights to this application. Application main purpose is just to what you can say, allow you to do some editing on some images, crop images, and make the collage from that images. Why such application require an access to your contact list? Have you ever questioned yourself? So that is what we call an awareness. Okay, so such type of applications, we are using this very means easily on the mobile phone, because I, as I told you and as I said in the yesterday's session, that no matter what technology advancement is going to happen in security field, word won't work on security, word work on trust. Security is there to ensure that this trust will remain intact, because there are some what can say characters or some people are there who like to betray, who like to violate that trust, and that when you betray someone, when you violate the trust, there starts the crime. So any criminal need to build the trust with the victim first. This trust doesn't mean that or the relationship with the victim. Now this relationship means it become quite acquainted with the victim first, or victim schedule and likewise, and then only can act on this. So Information Technology Act wasn't there till 1999 in India, and obviously there wasn't many computers also at that time in India. Yeah, very few were there. Windows 3.1, that is, the first window was just launched at that time, and a computer was still in its infancy mode, computer technology. So the crime were there, digital crimes were there, that were, and that what you can say mature. Mature means I'm seeing the advanced crime criminology wasn't there. The machines at that time were very easy to crack and hack. Now it's become quite sophisticated. Hacking and cracking is not now the what you can say child's play. Yesteryears it was. So this Information Technology Act goes on doing that. Now what Information Technology Act found, that the data share on the internet need to be considered as an evidence and likewise, and so all those things were considered in this three act. So by after 2000, uh, we as an Indian first time got a law which can describe our what you can say status in digital or cyberspace. Okay, digital or cyberspace. So this is what the digital forensic science. So digital forensic science abide by these laws for what you can say the scientific knowledge, collect the seeds, analyze, document, and present the digital evidence. So now this digital evidence is something what you can say you can present to court. Now it's up to court to accept it or not. Now court won't going to accept the digital evidence because you have shown it. They goes on checking its positivity, negativity, and everything because law says that it is necessary to safeguard the innocent. Okay, it is necessary to safeguard the innocence. Otherwise what happen, the you can create some fake evidence or some what can say incorrect say manufactured evidence and can show those evidence in a court and can say jail innocent person. So to avoid that, court have given all these CRPC or Criminal Procedure Code, or even there is a Civil Procedure Code. Okay, which we are not mentioned here, but a law is there, and you have to go by the law. You have to go by the law, and forensic science is just what to say. Uh, Collecting, preserving, analyzing, and something. So when it comes to analyzing digital forensic science, you know, maximum evidence in a digital world or in a cyberspace is in terms of data or information. So when we say analyzing or digital forensics, we are actually talking about data science. We are actually talking about the data science where you are trying to find out certain relations between that particular data and whatever happened. Now there are some portions in this data which are may or may not be related with the actual technology. So digital forensic science is something this we consider. Now why there is this need of digital forensics, that we have to discuss now. Digital forensics is needed because we can save the innocent. This is what, say suppose someone spoof my email and send some abusive words and or some obscene material using that to someone else. Now that someone else have filed a complaint against, say suppose me, that this person is sending me obscene material or abusive email. Then I am at a my career, my social status, everything will be at a stake. Everything will be at a stake. I have not done anything. Someone else spoofed my email. Now, when digital forensic is used, then digital forensics can show that even the sender, in a sender address, you are having the sender as this person, the email is actually sent from some else server. Because generally when you use the email system, what you are using your own laptop. So what law says, how it actually analyze whether the email is sent by you or not. It will first check whether your last 100 emails are coming from the same computer or same mobile phone. So generally when you are having a mobile phone, its IMEI number and everything is there. Okay, and then you are having your laptop, you are having your this your IP address is there, then MAC address of your machine is there, laptop or desktop. All those things are there, and generally we won't send the email from what you can say random computers. Yeah, हम ऐसे तो नहीं करते ना कि आज ये कंप्यूटर पे लॉगिन किया कल उस कंप्यूटर पे नो. We all have our own personalized digital equipment. So they check, okay, for last 100 what you can say emails, you use only these and this two or three machines. Now it can go on checking whether the email that received by the complainer is having the IP address, IMEI number, MAC address of this email. Even the ISP is there. When you send the email, if you are using the Airtel phone, your ISP will be obviously Airtel. It's not going to go to the BSNL. Yeah, but someone is spoofing your email. If he's using the ISP, okay, maybe your location is there. You can send this from the say you are in a Pune and someone is sending this from the Bangalore. Even if he makes some changes in the email header and something, the towers are there which register this email is coming from which say mobile phone or which computer, because whenever you are using that computer to connect to the internet, you are using some internet connectivity modem and likewise and router. There you get the ISP, so it will show send to nearest ISP, and that trail, digital forensic trail, shows that even the email is containing the address of the suspect. The email is not sent by the suspect. Instead, this was an email spoofing, and this is what we call as a cyber defamation. Also, this is an email spoofing case. The only thing is that the law need to be very ruthless to punish the criminals, and so many times what happens, this ruthlessness of law can cause little or significance damage to you. Even a false complaint is made against you. Even a false complaint is made against you. At least it will mug up that much what you can say year or days of your life, defending yourself, going to the law, visiting these lawyers, visiting the police station, cyber cell, everything. So digital forensic is needed to actually save the innocent. It is not needed to catch what you can say organs thing, but it is needed. It's really needed to save the innocent. Even if you lose one what you can say 100 what you can say culprits or 100 offenders, it is very very important to save one innocent life, and that's why digital forensic is needed. And we require, being a engineers, we must have to go into policing. We must have to become the cyber cell expert, cyber expert, and likewise on this. Now another thing, why digital forensics is required. So technology is there, we are connected with the internet. Right now we are communicating with each other, and technology made a big volume of digital evidence. Right now, this I am talking with you, my presentation is on the screen, you are viewing that presentation, and you are also listening to this. Yeah, so we all are connected. What we are having a complete large volume of data, that is what you can say digital evidence. Now let's just suppose if someone want to know what is the percentage what you can say attention, or what is the attention level of the audience towards the speaker. There are the machine learning algorithms which can do the data analysis, which can see your screen position and everything, and can give that report, to the organizer. Yeah, so that is what we call as a collection, that is seizing the digital evidence, analyzing it and creating a report. So it is a complete machine learning. Yeah, so technology make very big volume of data. When we say digital evidence, we are talking about a very big volume of data spread over the distributed network, and we can we can't have any other option. Okay, we don't have any other option, that is without collecting this digital evidence you can't even go. For example, if I want to send something from one router to another router, from one destination to another, so one source to some destination, then in between you may get many routers and other things. So these routers need to keep what, the routing table. What this routing table is, routing table is the one type of digital evidence, because it actually contains the data from where the message come to where the message sent. Okay, and we have already seen yesterday that there are number of proxies, okay, which are having the level of transparency, complete transfer, and you are in the elite which is not having any transparency at all, okay, which can hide the sender from the receiver. So if you fail to analyze these things, if you fail to collect these trails, it may happen that an innocent life or lives may be at a stake just because of these cyber what you can say goons, cyber terrorists, cyber punks, cyber hackers, crackers. They can do anything. Let's consider that some, say, suppose some country decided to, what you can say, declare the war against India, and this war is not the traditional war. It's no one is having gun there in their hand. Then let's say that just start the cyber war with the India. What they need to do to make India, because if you topple the economy of some country, it is very easy to make quite unrest in that country. How you can topple the economy of the country? Obviously, almost all of our data is digital right now. Okay, we are having the share market, we are having the news channels, we are having these other details on there, we are having these UIDs, Aadhaar card, and we are having all their data. So if someone or some country, because this is not a job one person can do, okay, and if one person can do this job, then he must have to be out of this world. Okay, that intelligence, that genius is very very difficult to have. So if you are having such country, and the assign the cyber soldiers, the hackers and crackers of that country are the cyber soldiers for that particular country. Okay, and say that is okay, target India. So what will happen? Our Indian cyberspace will be attacked by these people. The same thing can be ordered by the India. Okay, India will say, okay, these are our enemies countries and these are our friend country, but we can't trust them completely. We must have to keep watch on their modes. So at least if you are not attacking them, be passive there and just sniff, just watch what happening in their cyberspace. And that is what the things. So we don't have any other option than having the digital forensics. So digital forensics doesn't mean simply that is you are collecting or seizing the data when the crime happens. You may seize the data passively. You may seize the data passively to find out is there anything which is going against your country or not something. So technology made this big volume of digital evidence or big volume of data, and that make data analysis an unavoidable part of our life. And because it is an unavoidable part of our life, we don't have any option than digital forensics, and that's why we need the digital forensics to think. Now what is this forensic is necessary? It's really necessary to keep control on crime and criminals. So obviously, if you go 100 years back, and if you read the crime story, 100-year back crime story, the one in a town used to kill somebody and will roam the town without caring anything. If someone asks why this blood is on your hand, he'll say, okay, this blood is not human blood, this is a chicken blood, hen blood, this blood, that blood. Okay, and we were not having any what you can say science or technology to check whether the blood is from human or not. At that time, it was very easy to commit the murders, make homicides, make genocide. Then it become quite difficult as on DNA and other things comes in a picture. Okay, so the forensic that made this crime rate, murdering and homicide and genocide spree become a little less. Now it's become quite lesser because there are very good methods are there. Very good methods are there which can prove even from a some simplest or tiniest strand of your hair or of your skin material the involvement of you in the particular crime. And that's why many people who are having the criminal mind, okay, but afraid of the punishment or the aftermath of crimes are simply restrained from committing any crime just because there exists the forensics. Now, if you go 75 years or say back, then comes this eyewitnessing and other things, circumstantial evidences and so. And with that, if you go with the 2000, which around 20 years back, this digital evidence in the country made things very difficult for criminals to commit the crime. Just consider that you go into some premise and you see the CCTV is there, CCTV footage, yeah, or CCTV cameras are there, or you simply read on the what you can say the notice that this premise is under CCTV camera, you automatically start behaving like a good girl or a good boy, yeah, because you know someone is watching me. That is what human tendency, and forensic is just that. So is forensics is required. It is need to save the innocent, but is required to keep a control on crime and criminals. Say if your roads, all roads are say suppose uh, under surveillance by the CCTVs or satellite cameras and something, where you can't install the CCTVs, the remote things and something, okay, or where the satellite camera can't work, you can have the CCTVs and something. It is possible to
Recording in progress.
it is possible to minimize it is really possible to minimize the what to say crime. Let's say suppose the college, your college is there, mm, in that area, if the crime rate is high, the crime rate is high, and you want to what you can say minimize this crime rate, you can give a model to the police station, nearest police station, that okay, you can install the CCTV cameras on the these positions or likewise, and we can even have the drone surveillance, periodic drone surveillance in night or something, that will save the patrolling and many other cost of the police. They are also human beings, yeah. So if you go with that, and if you do the forensic image forensics, means you can identify the person's face, you can do the face recognition, you can do voice recognition and like, then that can control the crime, because criminal don't like to be get captured, yeah, criminal don't like to be get captured. This is the simple human tendency. When you are doing something bad, you already know that you are doing the bad. Nobody require there, मतलब से suppose मैं अगर किसी होटल में जा रहा हूँ and I'm just asking for vada pav and something, okay, I'll order like a, okay, it's a something everyone is buying it, okay, nobody object on it, it is legal thing, okay, or what is socially acceptable, to मैं खा ले. Now I'm going to just consider going to some place which is serving something not good, कुछ ड्रग्स है, कुछ है, ऐसे है, तो मैं वहाँ पे ऐसे आराम से जाऊँगा चार लोगों के साथ, नहीं जाऊँगा. नाउ जस्ट कंसीडर आई एम ऑल्सो हैविंग द फियर. मुझे सबसे पहली फियर क्या रहेगी, मुझे कोई देख रहा है. दॅट इज व्हॉट दिस व्हॉट यू कॅन से, वो मी आपण मराठीत म्हणतो ना चोराच्या मनात चांदणं. So if you are in the forensics, now you know that forensics is there and digital forensic is there. Satellite is recording you. You are having some drone or you are having the CCTV camera. Okay, in that particular area, you will find the many what you can say petty crimes will go down automatically if you have the forensics, proper forensics, and practice of it in the legal system, and that's why we require the forensics, and obviously digital forensics is the part of it. Now what about the law? Law is incomplete without forensics. Means if there is no seizure of evidence, no analysis of evidence, no documentation and preservation of evidence, it is very difficult to give justice to the common person, or you can say the ain person. So if when we say this um, law is there, you know that forensic is just like a heart of the law. So what happens if you remove the heart? The entire body become dead. In the same way, if you remove the forensics from the law, if you remove the forensics from the law become dead. It is almost impossible to give justice to anybody without having the justifiable evidence. Okay, so that's why forensic is very necessary. And again, digital forensic is one and the same thing, is a part of that. Anything that you investigate requires some certain procedure, some science and some art, and that is what we call as a digital forensics. And how one can give justice to the evidence. Say suppose you collected some evidence, but giving justice to the evidence means someone may object on the evidence itself. They can say that the evidence that you are putting in the court, okay, or before law, are fake evidence. What you can do? Yeah. In that case, if you are saying that someone is saying the evidence are fake, the forensics is the answer, and it's the only answer to prove that the evidence are authentic, they are not fake, and they are admissible in a court. And how forensic do this? Forensic go by the certain rules and regulations given by the law in collection of this evidence. For example, let's say suppose if you are having say CCTV camera installed at your home, okay, and something is recorded in that CCTV camera, and that CCTV camera is not registered or was installed without the permission of the police station, तो उसके अंदर जो भी रिकॉर्ड है उसे एज ए एविडेंस एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते. Okay, or even if it accepted as an evidence in a rare cases, say suppose some homicide or some genocide happens and that evidence in that camera, then it can be accepted as a digital evidence recording. But the owner of that camera who installed that camera get the penalty for get the penalty for installing the camera without the permission of law. That is what we call as a CRPC and civil procedure code, criminal and civil procedure code. This is just like that. You want to have the pistol, you can, but if you have the pistol with the right permissions from the government, it is not considered as a crime. But if you have it without any permission, then you are a criminal. Yeah, in the same way, if you are on the CCTVs in your premise and if those CCTVs are not registered, are not installed without the permission of the, they are not installed with the permission of the police, okay, then those CCTVs recording, petty recordings or general recordings, say suppose someone steal a bicycle in your premise and recording is there in your CCTV, but this CCTV is not installed with the permission of police station, or after installing you are not informed to the police about the CCTV installation, what will happen? That evidence will be denied by the court, because there is a one thing what we call as an intrusion into the privacy of other person's life. Means say suppose you are on your mobile phone, you are taking a selfie, but say suppose a beautiful girl is there just behind you and that girl actually comes in your selfie, then that girl can object that you are actually not taking the selfie, but in the veil of selfie you are actually photographing her, and that comes under the teasing act. Okay, and without her consent you are taken the photograph, it's called as privacy intrusion, and law can take action against you. So simple thing is that if you are in the CCTV camera and you not have the permission, or you not reported that you have the CCTV camera at your premise, then the law can penalize you. Okay, they can accept the recording as evidence, but they will penalize you for not taking the permission. Okay, आपको कुछ तो फाइन भरना ही पड़ेगा. It's just like that. You can have the vehicle, but if you drive without license and if you get caught, you have to pay the fine. So when it comes to proving anything, forensics is the only answer, and that is why I can say there is the need of strong forensics, just not the digital, all body forensics, your circumstantial forensics, evidence forensics, and you also require the digital forensics. And if in future science causes some other type of data, then the forensics or investigative techniques for that must have to be there. Otherwise, what will happen? The complete world will go unlawful or outlaw. Okay. So that is what we can say the need of forensics in there. Now we're going to see discuss these types of digital forensics, or where you can make the investigative moves or rules or procedures to get these types of digital forensics in a clear term. So first is the memory forensic. Now, what is memory? A memory is, you can say, any device which is capable of storing the data. So your pen drive, your floppy disk, your CD-ROM, your DVD, your hard disk, your RAM. Okay, these all are the memory devices or memory. And memory is of two types. One is called as a volatile memory, another is called as a non-volatile memory. In judiciary system, the volatile memory is considered as the memory which you can rewrite or which can delete. So anything written on a RAM, anything stored in your hard disk, anything in your what you say pen drive or USB drive, you can delete it, modify it, rewrite it, format it. It is called as a volatile memory. The volatility time may be less or more. मतलब RAM की volatility है, that is for one day, just consider. Then for hard disk, it is till you not delete the data from the hard disk, but it is volatile. But for ROM, read only memory, once it is burned on that CD, it is not removable. So that is a non-volatile memory, and digital forensics works on this. So it actually checks on the volatility of the memory, what are the things, and likewise, and go on doing this memory analysis. So what exactly happens in this memory or memory device analysis is that it checks the memory devices, what type of data was stored there, what in likewise, and it even scan the free portion of this memory devices and try to rebuild some data from it. मतलब आपने समझो एक आपके पास पेन ड्राइव है and you are a very fond of pornography, and so you downloaded all the pornographic material in that pen drive, but suddenly you come to know that your parents are coming at your home, say room, so you deleted everything from that pen drive. ठीक है, अब आपको लग रहा है कि आपका पेन ड्राइव तो क्लीन हो गया है, उसको आपने फॉर्मेट भी कर दिया है, तो इसके अंदर यू आर नॉट गेटिंग एनी image and something. But if you give this same pen drive to a forensic scientist, yesterday you have seen that what you can say, preparing the memory for collecting the data, forensic data or digital evidence on using Kine. So there, if you insert this pen drive in the Kine, and there is an image rebuilder tool in the Kine which will read that formatted pen drive, because it was quick formatted. So quick formatted, what does it? Won't delete any data from the pen drive, it simply deletes the allocation table and the description table for the files. So this it seems to be what you can say clean, but it is not. So it simply goes there and it try to read the headers, footers, everything of this data, that is the pattern 1001, whatever you are having, and just rebuild the entire data stream and can recover the complete data. And that is what you can say memory forensic. In that case, you may get captured. Okay, so if your parents are forensic expert, and that is a memory. Now it is computer forensic. Computer is again the digital device, and why I say it is different from this memory. Computer is the computational machine. I'm not saying a computer means any that your desktop or laptop, any machine, digital machine which is having some facility, some ability of computing, and having a little memory is a computer. So this can be used, computer can be used in a crime, for example, for sending messages, for creating plans for the crime, and likewise. In that case, that data may be in a computer. It was observed by many investigators that the criminal have one particular habit. If say criminal generally like to maintain the diaries, okay, okay, we all like to maintain the diaries. A difference between ours and criminals diaries is that the criminal diaries, they when they maintain, if they want to do something, they use generally the code words and likewise, and they even add some what can say name of these persons, and whenever they commit the crime, they generally tick mark, okay, this activity is done, that activity is done, likewise. So criminals are more what you can say disciplined
than us in maintaining the diaries. So if a criminal is having a computer, what the criminal will do, if he will create all his plan, everything somewhere in the computer in some folders. So analyzing that computer and everything is very very necessary, so that we can go through the what you can say the data, and we can uh, uh, check whether the things were done by the person or not. And that's why many times whenever a fraud happens, whenever some crime happens and some persons get caught, police first ask for the seizure of all his digital devices, his or her laptop, smartphone, mobile phone, and even the pen drives and anything that is digital, and even the calculators nowadays on some certain memories are also get what you can say seized, and that is a computer digital forensics need to be done. Now the database forensic, we are having a large number of these e-websites which are selling some products. All these products list and everything details are stored in databases. They are having a customer base information stored in databases. You are having these what you can say ATM cards, credit cards, debit cards, information stored in databases. You are have your Aadhaar card, income tax details stored in databases. So if you go with the things, even if you go for the railway reservation or other system, you are having the database. Now say suppose you reserve a railway ticket, and that railway ticket was cancelled, and that railway ticket was cancelled by you, but the things are not happen, that is money is not returned, and you complain to the IRCTC. So what IRCTC will do, IRCTC will ask a database expert to check the history of database transactions. Okay, and that is a database forensics, and if they found any strand of these database transactions or failure, they can refund your money and everything, and you know all this is happening. So database forensic is there. Then mobile forensics, anything that you are doing you through your mobile or using your mobile must need to be analyzed, collect, capture, and then preserve. Means say suppose I want to investigate somebody, and if I seize the mobile, that person will not have the mobile with him. So generally what police do, police simply seize the mobile. After seizing the mobile in a particular what you can say things, they copy down the entire mobile image on the mobile image, means all there's a system and everything on that mobile as it is, without making any change on some folder. Okay, there are system imaging tools are there. If you go in a kahine, you can use that system imaging tools, and you can create the image of your mobile, and you can see what was the state of your mobile at that particular time, and likewise, and then they can do data analysis over that. That is the one thing. Then you are in the cyber trail digital forensics. Cyber trail is what, when you communicate with somebody, you are sending that data from one point to another point to another point, and all point actually have a small portion of your communication store there, some information. A routing table will have some information, your IP address, senders, receivers, all those things, and that is what we call as cyber trail. So that analysis is there. Network analysis. Now I say that cyber trail is regarding the data, while network is regarding your internet or your intranet analysis. Say someone is sending some false messages from, or some invalid messages using proxies and other thing from your network. Okay, how to detect such person? To detect such person, you require to do many things, and the network analysis plays a very important role, because even if you are using the proxies, whatever messages are going, they are going from your computer, they will be at least registered in your main server, and that is what you can call as a network analysis that you have to do. Then there is a data forensics, or what we call as a data science, plainly speaking. Okay, in data forensics, whatever data that you capture, it may be text, it may be some table, it may be some image, it may be some audio and something. This data forensics actually used to analyze the things. So suppose you want to identify a criminal in a crowd. What is the method? A simple method is that you can go for the image processing and other things. You can capture the images at random and may luckily find out the particular criminal. That is in data processing. Now, with advancement in technology, networking, the things become very complicated, and the cloud computing or the internet computing comes in a picture. So when you are in the cloud computing, there you require the cloud forensics, because the cloud computing involves many things. It involves the monetary control, it involves the usage control, it involves different type of layers of the architecture and something. And so when you go for the cloud forensic, we have to be very what you can say there. So there is a transitional forensic in cloud. There is a data at storage, data at client, and likewise. So that is a cloud forensics that you have to go through. Then we are in the digital equipment forensics. All the digital equipments that can be used to what you can say go through certain type of crime or used in a crime need to be analyzed, seized and analyzed for its logs. क्योंकि डिजिटल इक्विपमेंट्स में वो सारे लॉग्स होते हैं उसके अंदर से सपोज यू आर ड्राइविंग रैशली ऑन रोड एंड द सीसीटीवी रिकॉर्डेड यू दैट इज एन डिजिटल इक्विपमेंट तो आपको जब व्हेन यू आर एक्चुअली examining that CCTV footage, you are saying that you are doing some digital equipment forensics. There are certain digital equipments which can change the state and likewise. So these are just the non-exhaustive list of the digital forensics. So anything that is on digital, that when we seize it, preserve it, analyze it, and report it, we can call it as a digital forensics, and we can have the many digital forensics like this. Okay. So what is cyber forensics and digital evidence? This is our next point. That is, cyber forensics come with new methods of acquisition and preservation to justify truthfulness of the evidence and relate it with the criminals, victims, and crimes. And with advancement in technology, it's becoming more and more difficult to collect digital evidence from all over the cyberspace, because day before yesterday cyberspace used to be very small. Now you are having a very large cyberspace to go through, and that's why the cyber criminals are getting the advantage of anonymity. They can hide behind the multiple proxies with an elite, what you can say, uh, state. So it become quite difficult to catch them. It's becoming quite difficult to catch them. Another thing is that many of the cyber crimes actually won't require the technological knowledge. It simply require the understanding of human psychology. For example, I can say in a simple email, by just creating a fake email ID. From that I can say that a fake email ID as a register one domain, say starlottery.com, 125 rupees. Starlottery.com is there, and one dedicated email you got for that as say executive CEO starlottery.com. So you are sending some mail from this. Even you don't require to that, you can go to the email services, pay them something, and they give you the customized.com with that. It's a Gmail. Let's say suppose you want something, so starlottery.com, you can say that is your CEO of the starlottery.com, and you are sending these messages to n number of people that you got what can say selected by our AutoML procedure, the computer things based on your buying and this and that capability, and you have to you are going to get this much of say price money and price and everything. So kindly give the things, or we can say the say if you want to get a 1 lakh rupees, pay 10,000 rupees like that. And you also have given some account. Now you open this account, say you ask someone, you are having this Aadhaar and this and that cards everywhere, so you just open an online account. Okay, उस अकाउंट पे सब ट्रांसफ़र करने के लिए आपने बोल दिया है 10,000 रुपये. Now you the person, you send say 1,000 emails. Now as the 80-20 rule says, out of these 1,000, 200 will consider, just hello sir, hello, hello, hello. हाँ बोला ना सर. आलं की सांगतो सर, मी तुम्हाला आलं की सांगतो. मी आता ॲज अ रिसोर्सपासून काम करत आहे. एका लेक्चरमध्ये आहे, मी आलो की सांगतो तुम्हाला. हॅलो, मी एका लेक्चरमध्ये आहे, आलो की सांगतो म्हटलं तुम्हाला. Sorry guys for the disturbance. So we are having this cyber forensics coming up with these things. So with advancement in technology, it's becoming more difficult nowadays to get digital evidence from all over the cyberspace. So when you say cyber forensics and digital evidence, we are seeing that it is difficult to collect the digital evidence, because forensics starts after collection of the digital evidence. Okay, so when you seize the digital evidence, with the advancement of technology, is becoming more and more difficult. Even if the cyber forensics is coming up with the new methods of acquisition of the digital evidence and preservation, it is very difficult to acquire and preserve the digital evidence. It is very difficult to acquire and preserve this digital evidence from all over the cyberspace. So what generally happens is, suppose if a criminal have done something, a traditional criminal also won't require too much of knowledge. Means, I just have given this example of starlottery.com. You send 1,000 mails, and when you send this 1,000 mails, and to get the starlottery.com email ID, just pay some 100 rupees to the Google or something, and there also use some fake data. You won't require to use your original name or anything. Internet is completely anonymous. Okay, you simply have to give, they won't ask you the Aadhaar card and everything, all details to open your email ID. So it is very difficult. And when you open this email ID, don't use your own regular ISP. Go to some cafe, open the this means, say, so you can go to some internet cafe, or go to some nearby institute where you are having this email access, or simply go somewhere and just check some fool who is not protected his Wi-Fi using the password. Then use that Wi-Fi connectivity and create this fake email and send the fake emails to some people. Now you send this 1,000 email to some person about a lottery. Also created this some fake bank account, and you ask for this 10,000 rupees. उन लोगों ने 10,000 रुपये के ये कर लिए. Now if you are having some friend in who is working in Africa, or who is working in Russia, who is working in somewhere, you can also make the bank account from that country. It's simply the digital connectivity. The amount will go to that bank account, and from that bank account, the person can withdraw the money manually, and can deposit that money somewhere, some other bank, manually withdraw करके इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली अदर बैंक में डिपॉजिट करके वहाँ से इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली आपको भेज सकता है. सो दिस थिंग्स आर very easy to do. But what happens, this trail goes from India to all over the world, and every country is having its judiciary system and everything, and that judiciary system itself becomes sometimes a hurdle in acquisition and preservation of such type of, what you can say, digital evidence. Cyber forensic is there, but this is thing. Now out of this 1,000, what will happen? 200 will accept, means go will go for that image, and 80 persons will send you around 10,000 rupees each. Just consider this, 80 into 10,000, almost, and this going on. Why this is called as a फिशिंग? आप कभी समुंदर के किनारे या कि तालाब के किनारे जाओ, you just spray and hook into the water, and every time you are using the same trick. आप क्या कर रहे हो, हुक को कुछ प्रे लगा देते हो, and you are sending that hook into the water, and every time a new fish catch it. Every time a new fish catch it. Here you don't require to create much of the what can I say relationship with that particular victim. Yeah, you don't need to know the victim. You simply need the email ID of the victim, and if the victim is greedy, he will catch your hook. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे जो क्राइम करने के तरीके, दे आर स्टिल ट्रेडिशनल. Okay, and those traditional what you can say ways of crime are still dominant in the space of in the world of cyberspace. 70% crimes are based on the phishing. कुछ लोग किसी को कॉल करते हैं, कुछ फेक कॉल देते हैं, एंड इट्स वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट. आपने समझो 10-12 सिम कार्ड खरीद के ले लिए हैं. इस सिम से आपने ये काम किया, सिम तोड़ दिया, दूसरा सिम यूज़ किया. उस सिम से काम किया, सिम तोड़ दिया, तीसरा सिम यूज़ किया. You just want to see this, you can see that movie Wednesday, starred by Nasruddin Shah and Anupam Kher, and these other actors are there. तो आपको पता चल जाएगा कि ये बहुत आसान है, ये बहुत ऐसे नहीं. बट थिंग इज दैट टेक्नोलॉजी नाउ, इवन इफ यू गो वेरी एडवांस, so suppose these things are there. So cyber forensics and digital evidence, they play a very important role in saving the innocent, in capturing the criminals. But if the criminal is of international level, if the criminal is international level, if the criminal is an expert, even if having the cyber forensic and the CRPC and IPC or any other penal code, hardcore criminal don't care about it. Don't care about it. And so we have to be very careful when it comes to cyberspace. Using it, you must have to use the cyberspace in a way that it should not have to should the cyberspace should not have to give us any damage when you use this. So you have to follow certain rules instead of using the cyber forensic and digital evidence as the, because this is a 11th hour rescue things. You have to follow certain rules that you are going with what you can say etiquettes, or what is say netiquettes. When you are using the internet, follow these rules. When you are using the mobile phone, follow these rules. And if you follow that rules, then it's become quite difficult for the offenders to what you can say cheat or loot you. Otherwise, cyber forensics have the very different methods. There are many tools are there. If you go to the Debian, there are around 35,000 tools are there to do the cyber forensics. But just having a tool is not sufficient. Okay, there must have to be some ethical practices that a person have to uh, means go through. Now we are going to see the digital forensic life cycle, or what is a digital evidence life cycle, or what exactly happened. This image I adapted from the book of Egan Casey, which was published by Elsewhere Inc. Cyber Application and Forensic. Okay, so this is a crime. He's not saying this is a crime, it's a violation of law. Okay, so what happens whenever a violation of law or the crime happens, an FIR, first information report, get launched, or sometime the police go suo moto, means they take the self action on the particular type of crime as soon as they get the information for that. Okay, without someone filing the complaint. So when they go there, they go to this discovery or the crime place, and they start try to classify. They classify the in people or the persons in three parts. One is called as a witness, another is called as victim, and then called as a suspect. We can't call them as a criminal at the first place, so they are the suspects. So this discovery and acquisition start, and we go with the witness, victims and suspects. When these are classified, we go on this forensic person go on seizing all the possible evidences. So there are three type of evidences. Weight means body fluids and other thing evidences. Then you are having the circumstantial evidences, those are the witness and situations, and then you are having the digital evidence. So if the crime is a physical crime happen, then you check for the CCTV camera, mobile recording, and other things as a digital evidence. If it is a cyber crime, you go on doing the cyber forensics on the computer and everything. That is what is seizure. Then you preserve it in the what you can say the containers which are made to collect particular type of evidence. Biological evidence are preserved in a different way. Circumstantial evidence are preserved in a different way, and your digital evidence are preserved in a different way. Once they are preserved in a standard laboratory, the things get examined for their authenticity. क्योंकि कभी कभी कैसे होता है कि these evidence may be not, so you have the n number of evidence, you have to select k, that is what it's examination. Once you select k, we go for the analysis. When we do this analysis, you create the your digital forensic or the forensic report which showed that this type of evidences was collected or seized from the place of crime. These are still, all are examined, and after examination these are considered as important for the case, and others are kept, okay, if required to analyze. And the analysis for the selected evidence is like this. In the same thing, the case of chain of custody, that is your who sees the evidence, in whose presence, okay, who preserved the evidence, in what conditions, everything was written there. So document actually start you can say start from the first phase, from the FIR itself, first information report. So all the documentation were generated. Now you are on the 1,000 pages of documentation, maybe 10,000 pages of documentation till the analysis. Judge is not having that time, so you need to create the summary of that. Okay, and that summary should have to be uh, unambiguous, and that is what the reporting findings. So you report the finding that these many samples analyzed, these are the and this is the analysis, and this may be the prediction from that particular analysis. Now this report is shown in a court, okay, and that is what we can say admissible evidence. This become the admissible evidence when this report is shown in a court. Court checks for the merits of this report to prove or refute the crime, okay. Try to discover the go on the discovery on this. So first analysis of this report is done by the uh, what can say the law itself. Then the interrogators are there, the two lawyers, one of the offender and suspect, and one of the victim. They actually interchange their views on this uh, evidence, and they try to what we can say contradict each other's evidence. The case get presented before the panel of judge or a single judge. Then expert testimony can be taken. Means even if you created the report, the third party testimony can be taken for these particular things, and the cross examination of the things happens, okay. And when this cross examination happens, we get what you can say the arguments, and when all these things goes, the closing arguments was placed by both lawyers of the both parties to the before the judge. And judge then, based on all the observation and everything, give the verdict. Okay, if the judge, the court is a lower court, it says that his verdict is given, but the offender is have a time to appeal against this verdict in a higher court, and higher court say verdict is given, but the offender, if sees its necessity, can file against this verdict in the Supreme Court. And that is what the entire digital forensic life cycle, or it's a forensic life cycle, or you can say. So when verdict is there, the sentence is. So verdict is given by the court. Sentencing was executed by the police. So police starts this and police ends this, and so police is what you can say the executioners of this. So this is the complete digital forensic life cycle that we have to go through when we are captured or acquire any type of digital forensic things. So now this is the part what we call as steganography. What is steganography? Steganography was used by many of the old kings and spy agencies to send messages in an encapsulated manner. So these messages may be embedded in images, maybe in a text, maybe embedded using some pre-agreed criteria. So if you are having an image, okay, if you are having some image, let's say suppose here you are having the image, this image is there. This image uh, is actually the collection of some pixels. So you are having thousands of pixels in a single image. So you are having say 1000 pixels here and say 2000 pixels here. So you are having 1 into 2000 pixels, and then you can choose randomly uh, few pixels from this image and make some changes in it. Okay, let's say suppose I want to send a message ABC, so I am having only three letters A, B and C. These are the three letters that I want to send to image. So all these letters can be written in 8 bits. So I got 8 into 3, that is 24 bit of information that I have to send through this particular image. I can send these 24 bits spread over the image in a way that I want, and only the what you can say the software knows or the mechanism knows how to read this data from this image, and that is the message embedded in image. I'm not going in the depth of the steganography, but this is the one thing, that is you can have the message embedded in images. Now message embedded in text, let's say suppose if I write here text, okay. Mm, you are so what you can say good, okay, that uh, I forget myself. Okay, I'm saying that you are so good that I forget myself huh, when I saw you. Okay, when I saw you, THRO, say, through my camera, oh nature, oh nature, difficult to take you in one, what you can say, glance. So this is a simple text message. If someone saying you'll not get anything out of it, but if you have something like that, say that you forget camera. This is called as a steganography. A message is embedded in a text. Okay, and message is embedded in a text. So for this purpose you can go on selecting a particular type of algorithm. Only the sender and receiver know how to interpret the things. only the sender and receiver. So I am actually trying to tell somebody that is you forget camera to take, you forget camera to take. This is a simple sentence. This is an embedded in a text. Okay, this is embedded in text. So this is the another way of doing the, what you can say, the steganography. Many times the young generations used to write at that my time or at your times, young generation used to write the love letters in this way. Only the two lovers know what exactly the message was shared, and if the third person read that, it was like, okay, this is a simple text. इसने तो शायद क्लास नोट्स भेज दिए उसके, वो क्लास नोट्स पढ़ रही है, उसने क्लास नोट भेजे, ये क्लास नोट्स पढ़ रहा है, मगर उन दोनों को पता रहता था कि क्या करना है, कौन से वर्ड्स पढ़ने हैं, कौन से नहीं पढ़ने हैं, ठीक है ना। तो उसके लिए वहाँ पर मार्क रहता था मैक्सिमम, इफ यू आर इन सच टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स दे यूज टू एग्री से लाइक दैट इज यू हैव टू गो फॉर 1314 if you okay 1314. So if you say you have to read the first line, first word, second line, third word, okay, then you are having this fourth line, then this on this word, and then you have this other word. So if you go with that formula, you can get the complete message, you can get the complete message. Okay, and so this is how these embedded texts are used. Now you may have the embedded using some pre-agreed criteria. Now what is pre-agreed criteria? Let's say suppose you are having a very big book, यहाँ पर एक बहुत बड़ा बुक है, ठीक है। आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू द डैन ब्राउन्स say novel of some cryptographer or crypto analysis. I just say suppose this is a very large book. अब इस बुक में 1000 पेजेस हैं, and if I write, say if I write a such thing here, okay, one, okay, and say one, you say plus 2, 1 plus 2 R5. अब आपको कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आएगा. 1 means each page, okay, each page, plus 2 if you go on adding each page with the 2, 1 first page, 2 third page, 2 fifth page, read fifth line. तो आपने हर इस बुक के ऊपर जो फिफ्थ लाइन लिखी है, हर आड नंबर के पेजेस पे 1357, वो अगर आप रीड करते हो तो यू विल गेट द मैसेज. अदरवाइज इट जस्ट द बुक, नो मार्क इज देयर. और ये जो की है इंक्रिप्शन की बोल सकते हो आप, स्टेगनो की, दैट वाज शेयर्ड, ओके, यूजिंग सर्टन टाइप ऑफ अदर मेथड. तो आपको बुक सेंड करने वाला बोल देता था, उसको बता दिया जाता था कि जब उसको जाके मिलोगे, ये बुक भाई उसको दे देना और उसको बताना कि सर ने बोला है कि 1225 का बुक है. सो यू नो दैट इज 1225. यू आर नॉट मेंशनिंग है 1225 का बुक है, ठीक है, 12 बार, कम से कम 12 बार पढ़ना. तो you know that is you have to go repeat this to for 12 first 12 odd numbers to get the message. That is what's a pre-agreed criteria. So there are many other methods for this steganography. ये किस लिए यूज करते हैं? These are generally used by the offenders as well as the investigators to check to send messages. आपको इन्वेस्टिगेशन के मैसेज भी स्टेगनो करके भेजने पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि ऑफेंडर को, इफ द ऑफेंडर नो these things, then he can use against he can use against all these things against you. So that is what this steganography means here. Okay, and okay guys, so welcome back. We are going now see what is the forensics and social networking sites. So when we go on the social networking sites, basically on social media, you are actually not sharing your data, you are sharing your vulnerabilities, और आप अपनी कमजोरियां जो होती है ना वो सोशल मीडिया पे शेयर करते हो आप, आपको लगता है द पर्सन कंसिडर्स दैट दे आर शेयरिंग देयर डाटा, बट इट इज़ नॉट द डाटा, the vulnerability that we are sharing, and anyone can exploit them. So what are our vulnerabilities that we share on the social media? First is the photos, your personal photos, all the photos that we are sharing on the social media. Even some criminal get that photos, can use that for some skewed purpose. That this doesn't mean that you won't have to use the social media, but this simply means that when you share some photos which are very private, means that you can't share publicly, anybody, uh, my suggestion is that do not upload it on at all on the social media, क्योंकि क्या होता है, this internet is very tricky when it comes to storing your data. What exactly happens, you upload, let's say suppose you are with your close friend, or say with your life partner, and you on some beach or somewhere, and you what you can say, uploaded that photo on social media. So internet is, the photo is going to the ISP. Now ISP need to regenerate this photo every time when someone want to access it, even if you want to access it. And if the photo get deleted once, it is not. So it uses the RAID 6, redundant array of inexpensive disk. RAID 6. Like this RAID 6 is one, there is a RAID 1, RAID 2, RAID 3, RAID 4, RAID 6 type of things to make the 6 copies, at least 6 copies of this photo. So ये फोटो 6 जगह पे स्टोर होगा, ये फोटो 6 जगह पे स्टोर होगा. You uploaded 1 MB of information, internet saved 6 MB of information at your ISP, okay, at your internet service provider, ISP. Now this ISP will send this data once you load it, and when you log out to the commitment thing, okay, to the volume of base, there you are in the data center. You don't know in which data center this photo was sent, you don't know in which data center this photo was sent. So if say suppose this photo was sent on 3 data centers, you got the 36 MB of your file stored there, and your photos are available. So even if you delete the photo from your what you can say account, the photo is still available with ISP in data center, okay, and in multiple copies. Then what we share with these addresses on all the social media, and your personal addresses may be difficult, maybe the cause that you can you use or you can't use, that is thing. Personal addresses can be used by many people to send you derogatory messages, some threats. Likewise, sometimes we for example, on this presentation I shared my email ID and the mobile phone. Okay, so my professional hazard, we require to be public, we have to show our email IDs, we have to show our mobile phone, and people go on calling. Some people won't have the proper etiquettes of this calling, as a midnight 11 को call कर देंगे. This happens, okay. So this you will get those type of things. Then your hobbies, let's say suppose you have some certain type of hobbies, and you are sharing that on your social media, then that hobbies can be used by someone, a prouder, to relate with you, and to make friendship with you, and then financially drain you. Then you can have your friends information. Maybe you are having one friend, and consider that this friend is trusting you very much. So this friend information is actually captured by the sniffer or the stalker, and now this person can impersonate you before your friend and can financially drain that person. Then your relatives information is there, and the same thing can be happen with the relatives, the things which happen with the friends, okay. Then school, colleges, your history, everything is there on the social media. Now we generally forget many faces from your school or colleges. even our students and colleagues over time, because people changes with the time. They becomes elder, they becomes fat, they becomes uh, other thing. So the person can come into your house as your friend, is not actually your friend, can tell some name from your school or college and say that is we you used to be in the same class and likewise, and then he can what you can say, take an advantage of you based on that. Now you're present, for example, right now you are working at a uh, college, or say at a organization, or say anywhere. And say suppose you are working right now at a Puranmal Lahoti Diploma College and Government Polytechnic College, and from that is your present situation. So I know from your social media sharing that you are working there. Okay, I know you are working there, you know I'm working where, and likewise. And then that information also can be used by the cyber stalker. Then plans, sometimes we unnecessarily what you can say, share our future plans on the social media networks. There is literally no need, because these plans then can be catched by the fraudulent. Let's say suppose you shared on a social media network looking for the house in a Pune, एक बैठा हुआ है वो सोशल मीडिया के फ्रेंड लिस्ट में जो सिर्फ रीड कर रहा है मैसेज. नाउ ही नो दैट यू आर लुकिंग फॉर द हाउस. He don't come directly to you, he will send the agents and everything, and will try to what you can say, show you that authentic person, of friendship दिखाएगा, वो सब करेगा, and then you can cheat you on other things. So don't try to reveal your plans on the social media network. Then whatever you chat with your friend, your mails, your tweets, all reveals you. Because sometimes what happens, when we professionally talk with each other, we talk with a very respect, but when it comes to unprofessional, or when it comes to our friends and something, we use our some language which not be professionally accepted. And then in your career, if you are at a high post or something, then that language or that those words or those tweets can be used to ruin your entire career. These things happens with many people. So when you are chatting, be aware of these things. Then your buying habits, whatever you are buying on this, you generally share it on the social media. People come to know what you are buying or what you are not buying, and from that they can send you the different type of advertisements. And likewise, social media can reveal your location to the people, and there are many other details of a person which can we go on this. Obviously, if a cyber criminal is there in your friend list, if a cyber criminal is there in your friend list, now you know what will be the consequences. Means a cyber criminal is posing as a friend, collect your data, and then what? So, when you are in a social media, do not friend with anybody who is unknown to you. And if even if you go on accepting someone's friend request, no matter how many common friends you and he is having, but if the person is unknown to you, be aware. Okay, be aware. So what we can do, or what type of social what you can say forensics we can do. So when you say sentiment analysis, that is a one type of social networking forensic. So अभी सोशल नेटवर्किंग पे लोगों का क्या सेंटिमेंट चल रहा है, किस चीज़ के बारे में लोगों की क्या व्यूज़ है, दैट कैन एनालाइज. You can go on product buying analysis, habit analysis, that is on commercial things. Tourism analysis, if someone is having habit to means a tour now and then, okay, in every month or in every say 6 months, then that analysis can be done, and advertisement and or the fraud cases can be created. Psychoanalysis is also possible based on your behavior in the social media network, and there are many other forensic options in one this social media account. So if you have the social media account, and if cyber criminal is there as posing as your friend in that friend list, so you may be at a stake of don't know what, but financial loss, psychological harassment, many things can happen on the social media networking side. So this is about the things. Now, what are the computer forensics challenges? So first thing that is, you can easily check or do the analysis of non-damaged computers because they are in a working condition and it's very easy to check this. But what about easy doesn't mean that I'm saying that is you can do it very easily. The easy it simply means uh, because the machine is in working condition, it's possible to execute or run some tools on it. But if machine is not in a condition, if it's such a you are have the CD drive or you got the CD-ROM as a digital evidence but half broken, then what you say data recovery is not that easy. A CD reader won't read the hub broken or crash CD, and many times in such cases you have to check the CD's hardware and you have to read the each bit and you have to try to regenerate the data from that CD or something. So checking these damaged computers is in forensic science is very difficult. Sometimes it's near to impossible. For example, say suppose someone throws his laptop in water, then water damages almost everything, clean out things, and in that case, it is difficult to collect or acquire any data from that. Sometimes it's just impossible. Now, there are some anti-forensics techniques that are used by the mm, hackers, crackers, or cyber criminals. The anti-forensic techniques is that they won't stick to one pattern first. So if you are using the random patterns of data collection, it is very difficult to identify you. Another thing that they don't remain as a passive friend to you. They sometimes send some messages, something like that. So you consider it as a normal friend and like. So that is an anti-forensic one. Another thing is that they can use the chain of proxies to message you, or they can use the third person actually means they collect the information and will give this information on the secure network to the third party, and then third party can harass you. So that is an anti-forensic techniques which can be used.
Recording
Okay.
stopped.
Now you can have this thing that is it is very difficult to analyze machines in internet or a cloud because you don't know from actually your message is gone wire. For example, let's say suppose you have sent a message from Puranmal Lahoti College to Aniruddha Rumale at JHRCM Wagoli. But this message you have sent from the Gmail account to my Gmail account. This message may go to the Chennai, from Chennai to London, London to Moscow, Moscow to Delhi, Delhi to Beijing, Beijing to Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong to Mumbai, and Mumbai to me. This may happen. A network this happen because based on which machine or which route is available, messages are generally transferred from one place to another place, and so it's very difficult to analyze all machines in the internet when some type of cyber what you can say thing or cyber data cyber crime happens, and in that case it is very difficult to analyze all the data on the internet as well as all the machines in internet. There are too many trillions of machines are there in the internet, and you can't analyze all for a simple crime, because to analyze a machine, to acquire that particular evidence and everything, some monetary cost is involved, some time cost is involved. You require an entire machinery, means the people, the experts to involve there, and that is very costly affair. So many times what happens, the cyber criminals get the advantage of this also, and that's why they not get caught. It's not their brilliance, it is the hurdles and the technology itself has inbuilt in it, inherent hurdles in the technology. So how this another thing is the law itself is the hurdle in the process of practicing the law, because sometimes the things the technology say okay, law won't accept. Okay, some things the law say okay, technology won't accept, and so it is very difficult for law and technology to go hand in hand in many time. And that also the biggest challenge, actually the biggest challenge, for the digital forensics or computer forensics or cyber forensics. So these are the few challenges that I told. This is a non-exhaustive list. There are too many challenges are there, because when it comes to law, when it comes to practicing the law, you have so many challenges to face that more or less you can say computer forensic or digital forensic or evidence collection, evidence analysis, evidence preservation, evidence reporting, that is analysis reporting, and then putting this before the judge. So, and again, do not adding your emotional bias into it. That is very necessary. So suppose someone have done some cyber crime which is causing damages to multiple lives, you may get rage or hate inside you. That must not have to be revealed while giving this report or the testimony on the report in the court, because if you give that, the person may say that the person is already biased. Okay, so the witness is not acceptable, and your evidence, even if it is a very authenticate, cannot be admissible in court or accepted by court, and the culprit or the offender may, what you can say, go free. So there are many challenges to the forensic scientist. Forensic is not completely computer technology, so program by program thing. So many times when we go on hands-on practicals for the forensics, the students, even the faculties become bored, because it is a legal activity. It is not something that you can simply control in a simply carry out in a laboratory. It involves law, and when something involves law, it is difficult. Okay, you can't can say abuse the law, you can't fall out of the law, and likewise so challenges. Sometimes the law is itself the challenge in forensics. Okay, so this is our first session. I'm really thankful for you to listening me so carefully and so intently for this long description. Started around 10:30, and it's already I think it is already 1.